Yo, 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 yo. Good morning, everyone. It is your boy Carbon. And man, we have had a crazy week of no HESI Assetto Corsa. I've driven a lot of cars. I've slowly come up with a list of different cars I'd like to use when going for personal best or high scores or new records, setting, my name up there on atop the leaderboards with the best. Today, we are driving the BMW 1M manual transmission, 6-speed. Doesn't have the greatest handling, but it also doesn't kick out from underneath of you every time you want to brake and accelerate basically at the same time. When those times you really just have to come to a stop, but not risk your points by losing too much speed and hitting other cars. So I found with this car, I actually have to steer a little more than other cars that I've driven. Like I need more play in the steering wheel. It's not, minuscule little adjustments, those micro adjustments. I actually have to turn the steering wheel a little bit more. And there's quite a bit more force feedback with this vehicle as well. And it's not very big. It's not very wide. It's not the fastest car, but it's not the slowest. I would say it's one of those vehicles that I'm definitely going to have to put on my list when I go for a top run. Now, I drove this car most of yesterday. When I was on Assetto, I was bouncing around between a wide body Nissan 370Z, this car, and a Mitsubishi Evo 9. So the BMW is the run you're going to see today. Sadly, it is not a personal best. If any of you are watching the whole thing, trying to see if I can get a personal best, I didn't. Yet again, I lost my way on the track. I get too focused on just not hitting other cars, trying to figure out my plan, looking forward. And it's a big map. Like, you can very easily stop paying attention to where you are on the map. Now, I always start at 3-lane southbound. That's the best place for me to start when I'm trying to get these high scores. It has a pretty easy length of track that you can remember. Like, all you have to know is that eventually when you start on 3-lane southbound is that you're eventually going to get to a toll booth. Now, after that toll booth is an exit. You skip that exit. It's like immediately after the toll booth. There's going to be a second exit you take after the toll booth on the left, and you basically just stay on that road until you loop all the way back around to the 3-lane highway. Now, I haven't been doing that. I've been focusing so hard that I actually miss my exits, and I end up all the way on the other side of the interstate where the pit stops are, and then I'm basically doomed. It is hard to keep my speed. I can't keep my multiplier. I can't keep my points. It's frustrating, especially when you're doing very well, and then you make such a small mistake down the line. Now, I'm sure if you've watched previous videos that I've had on these No HESI Assetto Corsa servers, is that although there is a scoring system, right now only VIP 3 servers have the proximity scoring system, meaning you get more points when you're driving with friends or other cars, and the closer you're driving together, the more points you get. Now, I can't seem to find a lot of people that are very good at this proximity driving, so I'm still starting at 3-lane southbound. And these scores aren't going to stay. They're still testing out the proximity scoring system. It's only in the VIP 3 servers. So although I do have a little over 5 million points on the VIP 3 server, eventually when the true scoring comes out for the leaderboards, it'll be reset. So any high scores that I get now will be completely reset once the official No HESI season starts. So I really don't need to just be staying on these VIP 3 servers, because all of the points are going to get reset for every server, whether it's the public servers and VIP 1 through 3. So realistically, I could be going around server to server, just driving as many cars as I can, because, like I said, none of my points really matter. Everything is just kind of practice right now. I've been driving a lot of things this week. A lot of BMWs, a lot of M3s. This is the 1M, Toyota Supra, the Civic hatch, the shitty Volkswagen. I've even driven some muscle cars that haven't worked out very well for me, but fuck, are they loud. They're fun to drive, but that you just can't handle. You just can't. They're probably better for light traffic servers. I'm playing on the heavy traffic servers. A little less speed, a lot more cars to pass. but those muscle cars really seem like you need those light traffic so you don't have to make those minuscule adjustments will send you flying. You know, you need to do a quick left or right, you're taking your car out. There's no way to save it unless you're just a god and you've been driving that car forever. Now, before this car, I said I was driving the wide body Nissan 370Z, and that sounds a little opposite of what you want to do. You want to drive the smallest car as possible, usually as fast as possible. It does help, but I really enjoyed the car. I didn't get any good runs with it. I think I got a little over 1 million points. It does have a little bit of a anti-lock braking system problem that, you know, anytime I'm trying to brake a little too hard, it wants to like drift out from underneath me. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not really a drift handling car, but it is a wide body. It does seem to handle a little bit better because of the wider wheelbase. But every once in a while, you get that good break in, and then you try to, you know, launch it on some high boost, and then your wheels are spinning, you're kicked out to the side, and it's hard to recover without hitting something, you know, because as soon as you hit something, you've lost your run. And as much as I would love to be driving these cars and commentating while recording, it's just difficult. Each one of these runs is like 10, 15 minutes long. And if I'm just doing the same run over and over again, to me, it's not really content. You're just watching the same run with different cars. There are a lot of people out there trying to learn and get these best scores. You know, like I've said in previous videos, is that there's like 600,000 people that are a part of this community. And the leaderboards really keep it competitive. The fact that, you know, last year's #1 spot was a little over 1.4 billion points is fucking insane. And that, you know, they have to verify that kind of shit too. Make sure you're not cheating. Because apparently cheating is a problem. Now, I didn't know how people were cheating. I didn't know what that meant. I thought maybe it was like, you know, they had AI driving the car, which is basically like, you know, just turn it on and let it go. But then I figured, I think people are cheating when it comes to the 2 lanes and dropping below 95 kilometers an hour. I believe some of these people are putting some sort of cheat on or a speed limiter to where they can't drop below a certain speed, which is a huge benefit. You know, it's hard to maintain 95 kilometers an hour or faster, which is basically just 60 miles an hour. You have to really feather the throttle on these 2-lane areas. Because the second you drop below 95 kilometers an hour, you've lost your points. You've lost your multiplier. You basically have ended your run. To me, it's like a perfect game for a car lover and somebody that wants to break into the immersion. Like the steering wheel, the shifter, the pedals, the e-brake, everything definitely fits the immersion. It's such a simple game. Just drive down the interstate as fast as you can, cut traffic without hitting anybody, and make sure to pass those people as close as you can. And while doing that, you're trying to get the best score that you can. So it's like the ultimate speed running game. It's like Frogger, but you are the car and you're late for work. But yeah, I'd love to commentate while I'm doing these videos. Like I said, it's just so hard. You know, you start talking and then you're on a subject, right? And then 1 or 2 minutes down the road, you crash. Now what do? Do you restart the video? Do you repeat everything you were just talking about? Do you just keep recording and act like nothing happened? You just keep talking, just keep crashing over and over again? You know, because there are times where I go on these runs and I crash like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in a row within the first like 1-2 minutes. You know, the game looks easy. Like, it does, but there's a lot of physics and mechanics behind driving these cars and getting as far down the track as you possibly can without crashing. You know, it's one thing just to weave in and out of the traffic, you know, just stay in the lanes where there are no cars. It's another thing to try and pass cars as close as you can when there are open lanes next to you, because you can absolutely pass these cars and do it in such a manner that you're not getting the high multipliers. You know, you're not passing very close. You're just staying in the open lanes. And by doing that, you could probably go far a lot faster, but your points won't be as high. So for now, unless I'm streaming, and when I'm streaming, I'm usually just going to be playing music, because even right now, while I'm driving this BMW 1M, I'm probably listening to like Dead Mouse or some shit. You know, just hyper focused on the road, jamming to some music, smoking a little, you know, weed in between runs. Like I said, it's just good practice. These points aren't really, you know, counting for anything. But god damn it, once the new scoring system is out on all the public servers and VIP servers, I feel like I'm going to be losing a large portion of my life just trying to break the 5 million point, the 10 million point, the 50 million point. You know, maybe even get to a billion points, which all of these people that are in the high hundreds of millions, tens of millions, billion, you know, it seems impossible. Some of these people are, you know, they're gods. They're driving super fucking fast. They've been doing this for years. They are constantly getting the 4 times multipliers. They don't pass anybody at a distance. You know, everything is mirror to mirror. And you got to think, when you start out these tracks, every car you pass is 10 points. And depending on your multiplier, you know, you could go 1 times, 2 times, 3 times. There comes to a point when you're like 10, 15 minutes down the road where every car you pass is like 16, 20, 30,000 points because your multiplier just keeps stacking. And this is, again, the end of the run, basically, where you get to the pit stop. You're on the 2-lane. I'm sure if you've seen my videos, this is where I always seem to fuck it up. This is not the direction I'm supposed to be taking, but I've lost my fucking exit. I have to deal with it, try to just get as many points as I can. But, you know, as most of my runs, this is about as far as I get. I get fucking fender bendered. I'm done. The car behind me just lightly taps my bumper, and now I just have to, you know, move on to the next one. So if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, please leave a subscribe, leave a comment, and hey, until next time, peace.